So now's the time to remove all of the crust from this waste tank that we've cut out. So there's some rust in there, but mainly there is still some crust that will have been decades old human shite. So I'm definitely going to be wearing a dust mask and some gloves for this job. I bought a needle scaler gun for this job, but one of my neighbours on the marina advised me not to use it. As the tank is an integral part of the boat, the surfaces I'd be using it on would be the actual hull and the base plate. Considering I don't know the extent of the rust, it's definitely better to err on the side of caution and use something less aggressive. So first off I started with a hand scraper, just working my way around and removing anything that was loose. So when I discovered this hole I realised that the boat had been overplated at some point, because what you're looking at here is a hole through the original hull and you're seeing the inside of the overplating right there. I want to scrub that down. I want to do that. I'm going to have a go at it now with the old drill and wire brush head. Oh, and I'm definitely wearing a filter mask for this. So this was the point I realised the brass brush head is actually too soft. As you can see, it was creating a whole lot of dust, but it wasn't really removing enough of the crust and the rust from the actual metal. So the next day I brought a steel wire brush disc for the angle grinder. So once again a lot more dust, but hopefully this time less rust and crust. I highly recommend wearing as much protection as possible when using this, because the bristles do snap and fly off at high speed. So you'll see here one of the downsides of doing any work on your boat that creates a lot of dust. It just gets everywhere. But on the plus side you can see that the steel wire disc has made a much better job of cleaning up that metal. And now you can see the full extent of the rust damage. Some significant holes. So now to scrub out the rest of the tank. And hoover up when finished. But if all that scrubbing and hoovering doesn't get you warm in the depths of winter, then you may have to take more drastic action. Luckily for me, I love to dance, as you can clearly see. And now I'm applying some more of the fur tan that came free with the boat. For this job I bought 5 litres of Tetraseal. In order to get this to spread more easily it's best to heat it up for a few hours, so as you can see here I've got it sat in a bucket of hot water. The wax oil provides a waterproof layer which protects the metal. Now, luckily for me, one of my neighbours is a professional boat fitter. He was kind enough to offer to weld me in the subfloor one Saturday morning. He's also got his own YouTube channel, which I will share below, which includes the video of him welding in this floor. So now I have a professionally installed metal subfloor, perfect for mounting on the wooden battens. I also painted the subfloor with red oxide paint to give it more protection from rust. So now I've taken all those measurements, I've translated them all onto the diagram, so I know exactly where I'm putting the screws once the board goes down and I can no longer see the metal. So I've cut all the wood to be fixed to the metal. And it's like a jigsaw puzzle really, because I'm going to have to take it all off now. I'm going to paint it with the red oxide to treat it against moisture. But I wanted to make sure that every part of the floorboard that goes on is supported as much as it can be. So let's get the painting done. To fix the wooden battens to the metal subfloor, I used a 4.5mm drill bit for the pilot holes, and then I used a 4.8mm self-drilling screw. As you'll see here, I used a little bit of oil to help cutting through the metal. It takes a little while to get through that 3mm of steel. And one thing I did learn by snapping one of the drill bits was you need to keep it spinning when you remove it from the metal, otherwise it snags on the metal and snaps. Through this whole boat renovation, every time I'm taking anything apart, I'm saving all of the wood. So for this floor I reused the 30mm marine ply which I'd taken from the old bathroom walls. This of course matched all the rest of the floor throughout the boat. I used a cutting table and a circular saw to make sure all of the cuts were nice and straight. Now all that's left to do is get the board screwed down. So now I've cut all the boards and placed them all down. I'm screwing pilot holes and countersink holes for each one because the marine ply is really quite hard. So there we go, the new bathroom floor is down for the bathroom install. And if you've got a good eye for detail, you'll see a few clues there as to future videos. So I hope you've enjoyed the video and found it useful. Please like, subscribe and drop a comment below. So now it just seems rude not to rave out the rest of this video.